Great to see everyone here. My name is Oliver Sellers Garcia. I am Mayor Wu's Green New Deal Director and Commissioner of the Environment Department. On behalf of Mayor Wu, let me welcome you to the BPS Dorchester Welcome Center. We are so excited here to be talking about a new $35 million grant from the Federal Environmental Protection Agency for electric school buses.
Woo!
That's right. This is just one of many announcements over the past few years of the Wu administration to bring electric school buses to Boston's fleet with a commitment to make it all electric. And this is just a phenomenal partnership with the federal government. We've got some great speakers that I'm going to introduce as we go along, and they'll tell you more about this important announcement and what a huge difference it's making for our community. So first, I'd like to welcome our wonderful superintendent, Mary Skipper.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, just such an exciting time for us as we continue to fulfill our vision of making our entire bus fleet electric by 2030. This in particular, just a big thank you to the mayor, and again, congratulations on Mia being born, class of 2043 BPS. We're really excited about that, already counting those years. But today, we really are, through the mayor's vision, coming much closer to electrifying our fleet. This grant from the EPA of $35 million will allow us to have 125 new buses of 30 passengers, and that's an incredible step forward for us. It means that by 2025, we'll have 95 electric buses, and by 2026, 220, and so forth, as we get closer to that 2030. It's so important for us that we're transporting our students in a safe, reliable, and clean way. And the electrification of the fleet is certainly reducing relative to the climate, the pollution, the noise, and it's just a much safer and smoother ride if you've ever ridden on the electric buses. There's so many people to thank, but certainly today represents the coming together of EPA and Administrator Cash, of Eversource, with Rep. Rooney, and certainly for our state and our federal partners, as they really help to make this dream come true for us. We have several students that you're going to hear from, Paulina, who is at BLA, and Ma, who is at Brighton. And I can't say enough about our young people and their advocacy and their concern and education around the climate. So I'm interested to have you be able to hear directly from them and the importance of this step for us. I'd also like to shout out Dan Rosengard, who's our Executive Director for Transportation. Under Dan's leadership and vision, we've made so many steps forward in our transportation, really bringing it into the 21st century with technology, and this is another step forward as we electrify. Again, this couldn't be possible if we weren't in a city that cared deeply, with a mayor that cares deeply about this. And so today truly is a celebration in such a powerful way of what BPS will be now and in the future, thanks to this partnership. So thank you very much. Thank you for coming, and we'll look forward to our students being able to speak soon.
Thank you so much, Superintendent. So I'm very excited to welcome our EPA Region 1 Administrator, David Cash. I've known David since at least his DEP days, more than a decade ago. And all of the work that he's brought to EPA in his tenure is really just too much to summarize, but the particular focus on energy and climate justice has just been such a wonderful benefit to both the region and to the city of Boston. And I believe as a former teacher, this is near and dear to his heart as well. So we thank you so much for all your work, David.
Thank you so much, Oliver. It's great to be here, and this is a bittersweet moment for me. It's always incredibly exciting to be at these celebrations where the investments we have in communities, in green jobs, in clean air, in a healthy climate, and most importantly, in our students and kids, is celebrated. But I think, as some of you know, this is actually my last public event. I leave my service, my federal service, on Monday at noon, and leaving it in the hands of phenomenal EPA staff. And I want to give a shout out, EPA staff that are here, please raise your hand. Raise your hand. You know, I get to come up here and celebrate, but it's really the work of the staff that gets the job done. Those of you who write the grants, talk with our program officers, implement the grants, follow through and report. It's all the incredible working of our expert staff at EPA that who are dedicated to protecting human health and the environment. It's been an honor to work with all of those staff members, and it's been a particular honor to work with the partners we have at state and local levels. You know, we're in a country in which those partnerships are so critical to get the job done. And Boston and Mayor Wu and her team of environment and transportation and climate leaders are just phenomenal. So thank you so much. Your vision, your thoughtfulness has been fantastic. Also, I know they're not represented here, but the congressional delegation here in Massachusetts and here in the Boston area have been huge champions for this funding, because they know the importance of clean air. They know the importance for kids. And it was, Oliver mentioned I was a teacher. I was a teacher out in the Amherst Public Schools, and one of my duties was bus duty at the end of the day. So I would stand on the curb as bus after bus after bus came, and I would breathe in those stinky diesel fumes. And it reminded me then of when I was a kid going to public school, and I'd sit on the corner, wait for the bus, and the bus would come, and there'd be stinky diesel fumes. And this investment in these buses, in those buses over there, and the charging stations that are over there, are going to be what brings us into a new era, so kids don't have to stand on the corner breathing in stinky, harmful diesel fumes. Their parents don't have to worry. Teachers don't have to worry. Bus drivers don't have to worry. The people who work in the bus depots don't have to worry. That's the future that we're working toward. And if we think of the components in these buses, the batteries, the software, all of those kinds of things are now being built, manufactured in this country, good union jobs that are driving the clean energy future. That's what we're working for right now. And it's incredibly exciting to celebrate President Biden and Vice President Harris's Investing in America agenda. That's what this is about, investing in communities and jobs. And it's particularly exciting. I can't wait to hear the students. No offense to all of you, but at these events, it's the students that are always the most wonderful to listen to. So looking forward to that. We're announcing, as was mentioned by the superintendent, a grant finalized last week under EPA's Inflation Reduction Act, Clean Heavy Duty Vehicles Program, awarding $35 million for 125 new buses. That's phenomenal. But let's talk about Boston leadership. This is on top of awards made under EPA's bipartisan infrastructure law, Clean School Bus Program, which awarded Boston $20 million for 50 buses in May of 2024. But wait, there's more. There were also 2 awards in August of 2024 under EPA's Diesel Emissions Reduction Act program with a combined $4 million to purchase 20 buses. But wait, there's more, because Boston has been a leader even before EPA started investing, and already had invested in 40 electric school buses. So we're now over 200 school buses. So exciting. Across the country, the Clean Heavy Duty Vehicle Program has selected 70 applicants in 27 states, so Boston's #1 of those, 3 tribal nations and 1 territory, totaling over $735 million. Nationally, this will mean 2,400 diesel buses taken off the roads, replaced with zero-emission ones. And that means less pollution, local pollution, fewer triggers of asthma. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but we're in a zip code in which there's some of the highest asthma rates in the state, right? So again, we're talking about parents that don't have to worry about their kid having an asthma attack and rushing to the emergency room. And they won't just help keep the local air clean. We know that this will reduce greenhouse gas emissions and help fight climate change. So today, we thank teachers. We thank the administrators of the school district. We thank everyone in Mayor Wu's office who have been working assiduously to solve this problem and seize the opportunities of investing in America. And that's what this is all about. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, David. And next, I'd like to welcome Director of Transportation for Boston Public Schools, Daniel Rosengard. And I just want to thank you and your team for the incredible work that you've done. What you're going to see is these buses, and you hear the big numbers of the awards, but really it takes so much work to get this actually to happen. And that, I think, is the difference between Boston and so many other cities. We're really making it work. So thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Superintendent, Administrator Cash, Oliver. Again, my name is Dan Rosengard, Executive Director of Transportation for Boston Public Schools. I want to start just by echoing others' thanks for our many, many partners who have worked together over the past several years to build out our electric school bus fleet. We started this work over 3 years ago with a highly ambitious goal of fully electrifying our fleet by 2030. But we had many unknowns about how we were going to turn that vision into a reality. And through the work of our many partners, over the past several years, we've built out a 40-bus strong electric fleet that is on the road every day transporting students to and from schools successfully. And for that work that we've already done, I want to thank first Mayor Wu and Superintendent Skipper for their support and guidance, Eversource Electric Utility for working with us to upgrade the electric infrastructure at our bus yards, TransDev and our bus drivers, our trainers, our mechanics, our fleet managers, and the many other staff who work tirelessly to make transportation run every single day. Our labor partners, including the IBEW Local 103, the USW Local 8751, the Teamsters Local 25, and the UAW Local 1596. The Boston Green New Deal Coalition, our advisors from the World Resources Institute, WRI, the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center, the Massachusetts Department of Energy Resources, and that's just some, there's others as well. So as you can see, this has truly been a collaborative effort. And together, we have proven that we can make a clean fleet a reality in Boston. The $35 million Clean Heavy Duty Vehicle Grant that we celebrate today will allow us to make another huge step forward in that effort, supporting the purchase of an additional 125 30-passenger electric school buses that will be added to our fleet in the coming years. This grant represents more than a doubling of the investments that we've made to date in greening our fleet, and it will help ensure that our students, our bus drivers, and our bus monitors are able to get to and from school every day in a clean energy bus with a smooth, quiet ride and improving everyone's health. Lastly, I want to thank again the EPA and the Clean Heavy Duty Vehicles Program for making this possible. Thank you, David Cash, the EPA Region 1 Administrator, who's here with us. As a former science teacher, I'm sure he understands how important it is to make sure students arrive at school in a clean energy bus and ready to learn every day. And just in closing, I want to reiterate why we do this work. We do this for the health and well-being of Boston's students and Boston's communities. And with each new electric bus on the road, we are creating a healthier future for our students and our community. So thank you again.
Thank you so much, Dan. Now I'm very excited to welcome up to the podium Jackson Janvier, who is a TransDev bus driver trainer. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Jackson Janvier. I'm one of the trainers for TransDev by BPS. So our job is to help the drivers to get the job done. Both on train them on the bus and help them to get a certification. In Massachusetts, every year, the driver needs 8 hours in service before they renew the school bus certification. So our job is to help them on the bus, post-accident, return to from leave or medical leave, and train them on the new bus electric. So because it works kind of different than the regular buses, and then basically. Any question related to licenses and training is a part of our job. a collaboration with the safety department. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackson. And now I'm very excited to welcome Paulina Mendez Javier, who is a Boston Latin Academy senior. Come on up.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Paulina Mendez Javier, a senior at Boston Latin Academy, and I'm here today acting as a representative of the Boston Student Advisory Council. I wanted to talk about one of, the first critical steps that Boston is taking to ensure the future of our city, and that is the transition to electronic buses. Our current transportation infrastructure, though functional, is not without its faults. Although gas-powered buses are useful to us, they still contribute heavily to pollution, clogging our airways with harmful emissions that make urban life harder for both people as well as wildlife. Every day we breathe in toxins that could be avoided, and every day we inch closer to an irreversible environmental damage. The adoption of electric buses is more than just a technological upgrade. It's a commitment to cleaner air, quieter streets, and a healthier environment for generations to come. It's one of the first steps that we need to take to not only preserve the longevity of our city, but to build a more sustainable future. By embracing green transportation, we can reduce emissions, lower noise pollution, as well as move towards a more sustainable way of life. We have power to make our city, as well as beyond, a better place. And so I believe that better buses make a better city for all. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you so much. And finally, I'd like to ask Mon Noor, a Brighton High School sophomore, to come up and say a few last words for us.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mahanur. I am a sophomore at the Brighton High and a representative of the Boston Student Advisory Council. Today, I'm here to talk about why do we actually need electric buses and why are they so important? So as we know, the first major problem of the environment is air pollution, and electric buses are a good way to decrease the air pollution because unlike the traditional buses that run on diesel, they do not emit any harmful gases to the environment. So it's not about the innovation, but the creation of sustainable future for ourselves and our future generations, since our environment is becoming so polluted and we have to do something to save it. By supporting electric buses, we are supporting cleaner air and a better quality of life. Electric buses are not just a smart choice, but they are the right choice for us. And thank you so much for funding $35 million.
I want to thank all of our speakers, students, staff, leadership from the city and federal government. I think what you've heard is really, from a lot of different perspectives, painting one picture about how something that is perhaps originated from funding related to climate is catalyzing so much in Boston. It has to do with cleaning our environment, creating more comfort, improving quality of life. The manufacturing and operation and maintenance of these vehicles is an opportunity for skills and new careers. There's so much that climate investment can do. And I think in Boston, we've really shown under the Biden administration how much we've been able to do. The grants that Administrator Cash mentioned are just a portion. The city of Boston has received nearly $150 million of funding from the Inflation Reduction Act and Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, the flagship funding that was available to states and municipalities, NGOs, and private industry from the Biden administration. We've really shown what a municipal partner looks like when federal and state government really work together. And I will just say, because I can't help but notice the details here, all of these investments that have come in charging stations and buses, there's another provision in the Inflation Reduction Act that allows us to claim tax credits that will bring even more funding back from those investments to continue doing this work. This is really what all levels of government look like together working on climate, and as I've mentioned, all of the different other benefits that come from that. So I just can't thank you enough on behalf of Mayor Wu for not only making this happen, from the small details to the big funding. Thank you so much. there's any other questions related to this particular topic, we'd be happy to take them now. Aaron.
So I know you said that y'all have gotten nearly $150 million under the Biden administration from the IRA and the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act. Any concern on your part about, obviously with the change in administration happening Monday, do you feel that this grant coming very late, not necessarily late, but very close to the change in administration, is secure? Do you feel that it's secure?
As Administrator Cash pointed out, this one is signed. So we're feeling very comfortable. The City of Boston has done a great job in finalizing their grants.
Okay, and then a follow-up question on that, mentioning the IRA tax credit. What would it mean if that tax credit was revoked under the next administration?
It's the Inflation Reduction Act, by the numbers, is actually more tax credits than direct funds. If you look at it overall to all recipients, that includes private sector as well. That's one of the most important parts of the legislation, so we really need to fight for that. Okay. Barbara.
Two questions. If all these buses come in, what percentage of the fleet is that?
I think I have a number, but I'll let Dan give you more details.
So right now we have 40 electric buses on the road. We'll be bringing in another about 55 this summer, and then this will bring another 125. So after that, we'd be at 220 buses out of about 740 in our fleet. So I don't know the exact percentage. I think that's like, someone could tell me. It's about 25-30%.
And it does seem like it's got a lot of funding from the IRA and bill for these. Do you anticipate more funding coming from the federal government under the next administration?
We're hopeful, but let's be realistic about what the priorities have been. What we do know is that the Biden administration's funding, both from grants and tax incentives, has really created an industry for this, and we really feel that this is can I make the pun? This is a bus that's already moving, so I really think it's something that's going to continue.
How much does each bus cost, and then how do you get the rest of the way there? Maybe that's a question for BPS.
About $320,000 for these buses.
Okay.
For the 30 passenger buses that we use.
Okay, and then so total you'll have 220 out of the 740, right? And then how do you get the rest of the fleet electrified beyond that?
Yep. So we're going to continue to explore kind of all available funding opportunities, whether they're any federal grants that exist, as well as state grants, as well as just the operating funds that the city puts in every year towards fleet replacement. But it's something that we definitely still need to look and explore every avenue.
Maybe give a sense of the replacement. It's like 1 to 3. One traditional bus.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yes. And so just for the superintendent mentioned, I think just for context and a little bit of comparison, an electric bus right now costs about triple a diesel bus. We expect that to continue to come down in the coming years, and there's also lower maintenance costs anticipated over the life of the bus, where we hope to make up a lot of the difference as well.
If I could make a general comment in response to that question, which is about the whole point of these investments in the Inflation Reduction Act and bipartisan infrastructure law in these new technologies is to catalyze the development of this new kind of technology that has huge public benefits that are not taken into account in the cost of diesel buses and diesel fuel, right? And so the whole point is to make this big upfront investment by the federal government. It's a perfectly appropriate place for government to play a role, and the costs will come down because volume of the manufacture of these buses is going to go up. Technology is going to be innovated. Costs are going to come down for batteries. Costs are going to come down for components. All of those kinds of things, all the while growing jobs in the United States, and the price of these will all come down. And we've seen this time and time again. 15 years ago, when we started the solar revolution in Massachusetts, the price of solar was really high. It was an important point for Massachusetts to invest, and the price of solar has come down and come down and come down so that it's incredibly competitive. That's what we're going to see here. And all the while, we're going to be seeing kids who are driving these school buses and bus drivers and the teachers and parents all breathing cleaner air. So that's the whole point of these kinds of investments.
Technical question. Are all the buses like new electric buses, or are you doing any like conversions? Is that a thing? And what happens to the old diesel buses?
That's a fantastic question, actually. Under one of the grants that Administrator Cash mentioned, the Diesel Emissions Reduction Act grant, one of the $2 million grants we received will go towards repowering buses, so refurbishing, propane buses into a battery-powered or electric-powered bus. So I think the first of those buses actually we expect to be on the road this school year, and then we'll continue to expand from there as well. So looking at that.